Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Umar Ilham Edwin, and today I'll be presenting about the roles and responsibility of a captain of the ship. I'll be presenting the three main points in my presentation for today. The first one is the introduction. What is the captain of the ship? The second one is the roles and responsibility of the ship, and the third one is the requirements to become a captain of the ship. Well, let's proceed to the first one. What is the captain of the ship? A captain of the ship is a person who has the highest ranks in the ship. He has direct authority over his crew members, and he is the only person responsible for anything that happens inside the ship or outside of the ship during their journey to their desired destination. Now we have a clear understanding of what a captain of the ship is all about. Let's proceed to the next point. Our next point is the roles and responsibilities of a captain of the ship. A captain of a ship has a lot of roles and responsibilities, but in this case I'll be providing you three examples. The first one is the cargo operations, the second one is the safety and security of the ship, and the third one is the crew management. Now let's break it down so that we can have a deeper understanding of what the work is all about. The first one is cargo operations. A captain of a ship needs to work alongside his chief officer, who is the person in charge of the cargo operations. Both of them needs to supervise the loading and unloading of the cargoes and make sure that the process is done according to the SOPs, standard of procedures, and that it is done safely. If anything happens to be going wrong during the process, let's say an accident happens, a captain of the ship needs to provide accurate reports and supporting documents and give it to the local investigators so that they can move on to create a legal solution for that process. Now let's proceed to the next point, which is the safety and security of the ship. How does a captain do this? Well, let's take a look during the navigation process. For the navigation process, a captain of a ship needs to work alongside with his second officer, the person who is the third in command, and also the person who is in charge of the navigation equipment. Both of them will have to find a way to figure out to get from point A to point B safely. Well, this is because they will be encountering a lot of pirate seas if the process is not done properly. And to do this, both of them need to have a great maritime laws and maritime knowledge. They'll be working alongside to provide the best route to reach their desired destination. If it is done properly, then the process will be successful, and the crew members do not have to face the pirates of the seas along their way to their desired destinations, and also they won't be able to break any international laws with their knowledge, because the captain of the ship and the second officer has done their homework in providing the best route for their desired destinations. And now let's proceed to our final points in this case, which is the crew management. As captain of the ship, he is responsible for anything that happens to his crew members. Let's say, for example, any injuries happen to one of his crew members, and the captain of the ship is responsible to provide immediate medical assistance and provide reports regarding the incident so that none of these injuries could happen again if it is avoidable. This is important for the safety of his crew, and the operations during their process to their journey in the ship is done smoothly. He needs to have a very deep knowledge about his crew management so that the process is done smoothly. Now, finally, we have come to the final points of our presentation, which is the requirements to become a captain of the ship. A captain of the ship has a lot of skills to master, but the main requirements to become a captain of a ship is he needs to have a degree or a license in his maritime field. And the skills required to become a captain of a ship is, of course, the first one is the communication skills, leadership skills, leadership skills, administrative skills, problem solving skills, and he has to be able to work under pressure. These 5 skills are very important because the journey to their destination is not in a week. They have to be going through a lot of inevitable conflicts inside a ship for months, and these 5 skills are very important for the captain so that he could tackle any overcoming problems during the process to your entire journey. So that is all from me today. I'd like to end this presentation with a motivational words. We are a captain of a ship in our own life. We have to navigate through the stormy seas facing inevitable conflicts. In order to face the inevitable conflicts, we need to stay firm and composed and be adaptable to any kinds of situation. And after this process, and after mastering this three process, we will be able to move on and grow as a good person. So that is all from me. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to everyone, and especially to my pretty lecturer, Miss Alia. My name is Tika binti Masan from class 7-1C. I'm here today to talk to you about role and responsibility of third officer. So firstly, for the beginning, I would like to share with you, just for your new knowledge, how much the average pay ranging from $210 to $400 per day, but it's distributed more evenly in type of site. The longer I work as an officer on board, the longer I are off, the greater the advantage. Large ship, small ship, internal waters, large lakes, fishing boats and cruise ship must have a specific license from officer. As the third partner is a watchman, who is the security officer of the ship and the fourth in the order. And me as security officer is the responsible for items such as firefighters, sailboats and various other emergency assistance. For credentials, you should be fluent in English as per the rules of the International Maritime Organization. For a variety of reasons, this is required. A number of examples are the reading of chart and nautical publication, weather and safety message, communication with other ship, coastal station, and successful interaction with multiple crew. However, any time of day and night, emergency may occur. I must always be prepared to safeguard passenger and crew. The co-worker must be able to take immediate steps after a collision or grounding, ascent and control, to match and to understand how people can be saved from the sea, to help ship in distress, and to react to any emergency in the harbor. I must understand signal of distress. I must be familiar with the search and rescue manual of the International Maritime Organization. Next, for ship stability, trim, stress, and the basic principle of shipbuilding, maintaining the navigability of ship, the partner must know what to do in case of flooding or bomb loss. In addition, fire is a constant concern. I have to be prepared to work quickly in the air with knowledge of classes and chemistry of fire factors. Next, I have to ensure the safety of the ship, its crew, and the environment. It includes the safety of a ship in case of a fire or stability loss, as well as support and security in case of a man overboard, leaving a ship, or a medical emergency. Last but not least, you guys also can go to website of the Coast Guard and check for more information.
Assalamualaikum to my beloved lecturer, Miss Alia, and my friends. My name is Nazzakat Zati binti Khairi from class 7-1C. Today I'm going to tell you about my job as a chief engineer. My job description is to be able to stand watch regularly when the ship is either in the sea or in port, remain in the status of on-call at all times. Besides that, the chief engineer plans, direct, perform as necessary the activity of the engineering department and carry out its assigned function and responsibilities. The chief engineer is the head of the crew who oversees and takes responsibility for the ship plans operation. Other than that, my job will help to survive through department personnel while providing job, train, and guiding to their fellow assistant engineer. They ensure each assistant task is complete and keep the required record, logs, and report. Next, my job may be sent to any vessel nationwide and must ensure the mission of the ship can be successfully complete by supervising or personally performing practically complex or difficult technical work and activities. In a nutshell, as a chief engineer, you must maintain the role of guiding for the rest of the crew and give order for the suggestion when needed. Next, I'm gonna talk about the requirement for the being a chief engineer. Firstly, you must have a bachelor degree in the relevant engineering field and at least 4 years of experience leading or supervising a team. Secondly, understanding of engineering principles and the ability to maintain a positive attitude and restore morale to a team. Thirdly, you must have the ability to stand, sit, and walk for a 10 period of the time, and excellent interpersonal and communicating skill. Last but not least, you must have the ability to process negative feedback and remain professionally, and the ability to work outside and inside the office. Not only that, the responsibility of the chief engineer include communicating the goals of the company to all engineers and professionals in the team, and supervising every phase of the project from start to completion. Besides, as chief engineer, you must calculate costs, material, labor, and time required for each project and provide design and budget. Last but not least, as chief engineer, you must delegating tasks to engineer teams, also supervising staff training as well as equipment installation. When working as a chief engineer, your work environment is divided between the office and outside supervision, and you must be able to work in hazardous terrain with an attention to mentally safety standard. Second, you must be able to spend long hours standing, sitting, and lifting up the 25 pound and must be willing to work outdoors in adverse weather conditions, industry setting, and construction site. My salary as chief engineer can range anywhere from 40,000 USD to 160,000 USD. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Atira. I want to share with you guys about my job description as Chief Steward. The Chief Steward is a senior crew member who works in the stewardess department. Hygiene is very important to ensure the health and safety of passengers and crew. So, the Chief Steward must communicate all necessary and effective procedures to the other ship server. Chief Steward must ensure its preparation and monitoring of loading, follow pollution handling and water safety procedures, and ensure all serve attend safety training. As Chief Steward, I oversee and coordinate the activity of the pantry, storeroom, and non-cooking kitchen staff. I also oversee and coordinate the procurement of kitchen supplies and equipment. My job also checks the cleanliness and orderliness of the kitchen, study area, storage area, and appliance. These include the coordination of non-cooking kitchen and store staff involved in tasks such as washing dishes, crockery, and food storage and distribution. Other chief steward duties are to assist the manager or catering department by arranging meal for food service, equipment, and additional employees, hiring and firing additional employees, and keeping production time and record. In addition to assessing staff performance, I share inventory of items from jewelry, silverware, glassware, and report shortage or request replacement of damaged equipment. The chief steward is also a staff member who carries out responsibilities such as cooking and serving food under direct supervision. The chief steward who always has to monitor, train, and ensure the food served is tasty and nutritious. I, as the chief steward, also oversee the stewardess who is responsible for cleaning and maintaining the staff room and server office space as well as receiving, disposing and storing store items and equipment. In addition, the chief steward also plan menus and analyze information on supplies, overtime and costs. Not only that, the chief steward also can request or procure supplies and equipment. Baking bread and pastry can also be part of my job description. Thank you for today.